Saturday. It's sunny out. I am in a great mood and I have so many things to update you guys on. Like, I've been working on so many new things and experimenting. So this video is going to be pretty chatty. I'm going to try to crochet during it, but we will see how that goes. And I just want to fill you guys in on everything I've been working on, all the deets. So let's go. Update number one that I shared in my last video was that I turned my Etsy on vacation mode, just to kind of catch up in my real life and also kind of experiment with different things. Instead of spending my extra time crocheting orders, I want to spend a little bit of my extra time kind of trying new things. And these would all be potential things that I will carry in my Etsy shop. So yeah, the first thing you might have seen, and I also talked about this in my last video, is, oh, I did put a thing here, good, is baby blankets. So this is the first, let's see, so I did a blanket out of Loops and Threads Home Chenille Slim, or whatever it's called, just to kind of test out like how it would even work, because I literally had never even done one. I was like, do you just do rows of the same stitch? Like, what is happening? So I just kind of watched a few videos to get like a general idea, and I was like, okay, that seems like that's the concept. But the one that I made out of Loops and Threads, really soft, like chenille, like this kind of yarn, I don't like the colors that I chose. I don't think it looks good because it's just like very lumpy, because the yarn is so thick but so minimal in texture, so it just, I don't know, it looks weird. So I was like, okay, this was a great learning experience. Now we're gonna go get new yarn. And so I went to Michael's and Joann in my last video and bought some different types of yarn, and I started working on this blanket that I'm very happy with. It has like a good stretch and a good, I think they call it drape. Forgive me, friends, I'm a plushy girl, so I don't know what's happening, but I think they call it drape, and it has like a very good, it's very flexible, and it's soft too, it's fuzzy, so I like that. And then the color changes are because the yarn is like different colors throughout, so I didn't even have to color change, so I'm very happy with this. It has taken me a while. I was working it in half double crochet, and I kind of think maybe I should do double crochet next time, but I am going to finish this one in half double crochet, and I'm very happy with it. I love the colors. So that was my first update. And I'm using a paper clip as my stitch marker. And then after that, I was like, okay, no, I think I got all this in one trip. So I also got some other yarns just to try out some different colors, different types. And I started working on this, which was also in my last video. And I really, really liked this. I like, sorry, the light is really aggressive this morning, which I am not mad about, but I'm getting used to like my, oh, there's not a stitch marker in this one, to my windows, like having the sun at a different time of day, and like it's wild. So yeah, I like this one. This is worked in the Granny Spike stitch, I believe. And this yarn is like a multicolored, the pinkish one. Kind of reminds me of like sprinkles or something. So I can't really tell, I can't really see if you guys are getting like a good look at this. Is that better? Yeah, there we go. This one I think is a little less wide, and like I'm definitely struggling with the sizing. I just never have like a tape measure next to me, and I should put one in, like a little fabric one in my crochet kit. But I always like either overdo it or underdo it, and then I like regret it once I can see like how big it's actually going to be or how small. So I'm really happy with this one. I definitely think I struggle with like the ends of the rows. I did watch a few videos, but like people will just be like, yeah, and this counts as a stitch and this one doesn't, or your chain counts here and it doesn't count there, and I'm like, what do you mean? Like, who's making these rules? Like, how do I tell what's happening? So I definitely need to improve with that. But yeah, I find that this stitch is really easy. You just go into like these sections that you make, you know, the round before, and yeah. The only thing I don't like about this blanket is it's not very soft. Not even like I'm not talking like, oh, it's like not chenille, but it's not that flexible either. Like I don't know, it just kind of feels like a little bit stiff. You can kind of see how it's just like retaining its shape here. And it's still pretty small, and as you do more of the blanket, I feel like it gets a little bit more weight to it, and I don't know. But I don't know, that's the only thing. So this currently has 3 balls of yarn connected to it. I was carrying my ends up so that I didn't have to color change, but I think that I should do a border then. So I think I'm gonna do a border on it. I think, oh my gosh, I think like a ruffly border would look really cute, like ruffles, really girly. I'm just gonna move this out of the way because this is a nightmare. Okay. Ooh. What is next? I also forgot to mention that I'm wearing my grandma's sweater, and isn't it so pretty? It's just like still, the sun is really killing me. In really good condition. The embroidering, like stitching, I think it's kind of looks like it's like hand sewn. It's just really pretty, and it even like says my grandma's name. My grandma's name is Joy on like the name tag, like she wrote her name on it. It's just really cute. So yeah, I think that's cute, nice and springy. So then I got this yarn, and it's a bit softer like surface wise, like touch wise, than the other yarn I just showed you. So the blanket is definitely softer like touch wise, and it's definitely more flexible, and all I've done is like 2 rows. But as I was working the 2 rows, I felt like it was taking a really long time. And I made this blanket, I think this is one of the first ones I actually made to the appropriate size, like 40 inches or whatever the recommended. I mean, I know there's different sizes for baby blankets, but I was like, let's do the normal, like bigger size that they can grow into. So that is one thing. I did it longer, and then I was like, this is taking forever. And then I also just felt like I was doing a herringbone stitch, which I don't know if you can see the texture there. It's a bit ribbed, so you can see that it goes in right here, and then there's like these 2 rows that kind of sit up. And that's a bit like, it's not hard, but you do have to enter in a certain area like of the stitch. And I don't know if that was taking longer, but it just seemed like this was taking me forever. And I was like, okay, there's no way I can do a blanket out of this. So I paused on it, and let me know your thoughts. Like, I know blankets take a while. I mean, obviously I worked half of 2 other ones. Like, I know it's gonna take me a while, but this one just felt like it was taking forever. And I don't know why. This is like the same weight yarn as the other 2. And obviously one I didn't have double crochet. This was in herringbone single crochet, so like really I think it's gonna take a while. And the other one is in the granny spike, so you like skip a few stitches and it just feels like it goes faster. I don't know. But I do like this yarn, and I think I will just start over and do it in like a double crochet, herringbone or something. Now, okay, so I got this yarn, which is like a cord. The sun is really frustrating. And it's pretty skinny, and I wanted to try like pot holders or coasters or hand towels out of it. I wasn't really sure. So I just started with like a basic double crochet, and the stretch is nice. In terms of like hand towel, like wiping your hands on it, like it's okay. It's not like a regular hand towel. And then I was like, okay, I worked something else in the herringbone stitch, which I will show you guys. And it tends to be a little bit stretchier. And I actually really, so I started doing it on this one. God, the sun is just, hold on. Oh yeah, now I have full range of motion with no sun in my face. Okay. So I started trying this in the herringbone. So I did one like half row of the first herringbone because you need 2 rows to really be able to see like how it's gonna look. And so this is the row that I worked until here, and then I just turned around and I went back Oh, so I don't even know where I started, but I did half of this. I would assume I would have gone back here, but maybe I went this way and then I did the next row. I don't know. So this is the second row of herringbone, and I really like it. It feels better on your hands. Like the stitches feel looser and like it just feels softer somehow. So I think I would rework this and maybe do a hand towel with the herringbone. I think the double crochet is fine for like a pot holder or something, but it's a little like flimsy for like a pot holder. Maybe like this in a thicker yarn or tighter stitches, or using 2 skeins at the same time, like 2 threads to crochet it would make it a little tighter. But maybe like even like a hot pad, I think it could be fine, just not something that you would use to grab something out of the oven because it's really flimsy. But yeah, so I think I'm going to rework this and do a hand towel and see how that goes. That was just another experiment. I haven't used any cord yarn, so. And then this is still attached as well. And this is a baby blanket that I started. So this is Bernat Velvet and Big Twist Posh. Big Twist Posh. So Big Twist Posh is a little bit skinnier than like Bernat Blanket, or you know, I tried combining the Bernat Velvet with Bernat Blanket to see, and it was just so bulky, but I really liked how this came out with the Big Twist Posh. So to give you like a closer view, you can see there's a little bit of light pink and a little bit of the darker pink, and I like how they look mixed together. Gives the blanket a lot of like texture. I tried out just doing like a, I don't even know what kind of stitch this is called, but just like skipping or like chaining 3 and then skipping 3 stitches to give it a little bit of patterning, and I do like that, but that was in the beginning, and I set myself up for failure at the end because I ran out of yarn before I could finish the blanket. And so like I was like, okay, maybe I can leave. So here is the holes, and there's 2 rows here. I was like, maybe, because I knew I was running out of yarn, I was like, maybe I can just do the holes and 1 row and maybe it will look okay. It really doesn't. You can definitely tell that it's like not right. And then I didn't even have enough yarn to finish that last row. So the last row I was able to finish was like the holes. So I'm gonna have to buy more yarn, but it's annoying because like the Big Twist Posh I really didn't use for anything, so I was like trying to get rid of it. So I don't want to buy more. So I can either frog like 2 rows on this and start the holes in the earlier row and then finish 2 rows. I did find some scraps. Like this is the amount of scrappage that I have, and I could do something with it. I could finish this row and leave this uneven, or I can move the holes up a row and then finish the last 2 rows, and it would be evenly spaced. But the blanket is pretty small, and it dips in the middle, and I don't know completely why. I know that you are supposed to like, for some patterns, and again, I'm like a chaos person. I like will follow a pattern, not follow a pattern, not even care what's happening, and then I'm like, why did it do that when I could just follow a pattern and it would make sense? But I've seen people saying like you need to crochet into this chain, into the turning chain, or you don't, or you do, or this, you need to do 2 double crochets in this stitch and 1 double crochet here. And I just don't understand why the ends of my blankets are not straight, and I don't understand what they mean when they tell me these rules. How do I know what the rule is? Y'all gotta help me. My blanket girlies, where are you? But yeah, I think it's cute. I would definitely do a larger one of this, and maybe if I buy, oh, that's a good idea. If I buy more of the Big Twist, then I'll just make the blanket bigger. That's a good idea. So, oh yeah, and it has like a good weight to it. It's actually a little bit heavy, and it's very warm, very soft to the touch. And then the drape is pretty good, if I say so myself, because I'm so good at blankets and I know what I'm talking about. So that's another little work in progress. I have acquired many. I think it's been a week, and I have jumped from thing to thing to thing. Okay, I found a third one, and I also really am excited about that one. So this one, I had inspiration in my head, and I think I told you guys about it in my last video. I really wanted to make like a fuzzy checkered blanket, okay? Like the aesthetic ones that you will see at Target. I was like, I can make it. And I am proud that I found, like, I conquered the quest. I found the right yarn. I figured out how to do it. It doesn't look as good as I wanted it to, but it's cute. So this is how far I got. It's very soft to the touch. I don't love that you can see the rows a little bit. It's like not super noticeable, but there's a little bit of noticeable texture that is like in a straight line. However, your girl didn't follow a pattern again, so I would have benefited, and I would have benefited from counting my stitches as well. This row of checkers is wider than these two rows, and maybe it just looks that way because I'm holding it like this right now, but it is wider when you lay it out. I don't know if you can tell. Do you see that edge right there? I don't know if you can tell, but it just looks a bit weird when you lay it down flat. Like the ends of the last of that wider row kind of go out like this. And some of the squares are not the same size. So I thought that I was being careful and making them the same size, but there was definitely a learning curve with this. So let's find one that's like not. I just keep holding it up in front of my face and then I try to talk. This one, this white one in the middle, it's very skinny and tall, and it pretty much matches the pink one underneath it, right? But then if you look at this white one in the corner, I don't know if you guys can tell, am I crazy? Look at this one over here and the white one in the middle on the top. They are not the same size. This one's like, I think I missed a row of the, because I work at this from side to side. I think I just like missed a row here. So it's just like tall and skinny. Whereas this one is more of like a perfect square. Anyway, so I'm not super happy with this. Oh, this is, whoops. I think I was frogging some of that while I was talking to you guys. I didn't realize there wasn't a stitch marker in it. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that I had finished that row, but whatever. And then there is like a divot right here. I don't know if you guys can see. So I need to probably count. Oh, okay. Oh, I thought I was frogging it again. I need to probably count when I'm doing it. I have gotten so comfortable with plushies that I don't really have to count anymore. I used to it was hard for me, guys. Like, I was skipping stitches. I was really struggling. So I used to be really meticulous and count every round, and now I don't because I really never make mistakes because I'm perfect. I'm just kidding. But I'm pretty good about it, so I don't count, and I need to count. I don't know if I'll redo this blanket. Also, if you guys have tips on how to cut something up and be able to frog it, please. I haven't Googled this yet, and I really could just go Google it, but I'm here now and I'm asking for help. Please enlighten me, because I've cut up 2 projects that I wanted to frog and I can't frog them. Like, I cannot get the yarn to come undone. It like comes apart as like individual pieces, and I'm like, but this isn't, it wasn't. And I will just cut a little, I'll cut like 1 stitch and then I'll try to find like, okay, the yarn after that 1 stitch. I can't find it. I should Google it. But anyway, I am really excited and I think I will make these, but I really need to like narrow down like what I'm doing. There wasn't really a great pattern on it. There was like one that was like similar, but it was using all these different stitches to have some texture and stuff, and I didn't want that, so I just kind of like got the concept and moved on. But I think I would definitely sell these as baby blankets. I'm not sure that I would do the duo colors. Like maybe I would just do all of this color. What do you guys think? These two were the ones I was excited about. It doesn't have arms yet, but it's a fuzzy lion. So I'm excited about it for a few reasons. This is my first time doing a lion. So I haven't made a lion yet. And I do have the lion pattern by Mama Made Minis. But when I opened up the pattern, the start of his face was worked in a chain. So I was like, no thank you. And I did the mini bear pattern. So this is a mini bear. Everything is a mini bear besides this. And I looked at the lion pattern for the mane, and then I was just like, I'm gonna wing this. I can't figure like what is happening. So I winged it and I'm pretty happy with it. I need to add arms, but I ran out of yarn, which is really frustrating because I was so excited to like have this be like a completed project and like take photos of it. I think it's so adorable. It's really soft. It's made out of the same yarn. Like, I don't know if you can see. It is a little weird again that it has like the texturing, but I think it just looks really cute and minimal. It's made out of the same yarn that checkered blanket was. So it's really fuzzy. I just love him. I think he's so cute. What do you guys think? Does the mane look okay? I thought about carrying the mane all the way around, but I thought like I think it would look good. I think it would look normal. But I felt like he looked kind of minimal this way, and honestly, if it's, not that I don't want to do work, but if it's going to take me less time to still make a cute product, I think I'm going to go that way as of right now because time is so valuable. So let me know what you think. Does he look okay with the half mane? And does he look okay being like the bear pattern? Is he cute? I think he's cute. Okay, and then this is the most recent one. I worked on this like all week. And I really like it. There's one thing that's upsetting me, but the rest is perfect. So, it's a blanket. And I don't know, you might be looking at it and being like, okay, it's just another blanket. But the yarn that I used is like, you really can't tell. It has like a sheen to it. Can you see that? So like in person, it's like almost a little bit shiny. And it's not stiff. Like it really has a really good drape to it. It just really moves, you know? I'm like one of those like wine, what are they called? I can't think of the people that like judge wines or like taste wines or whatever. I want to say like a connoisseur, but I feel like that's wrong. And I'm like, oh, it's just very oaky, and other people are like, what are you talking about? It's a blanket. But I am like that now. I'm becoming a blanket snob, maybe. I made this one pretty long. I didn't measure it, and I regretted that. So there's two things. That is one thing that I just thought of. It is, come on, the yarn won't unroll, so I can't even pick it up. Okay, we have a stitch marker in. Perfect. It's pretty long. It's way longer than I feel like a baby blanket needs to be. And the other thing is that it is going in a, where is it? In a weird shape. And that's not me like holding it. Like I'm barely touching this. Here, let's do it this way. Do you see that it's like angled? I think that I shouldn't have gone into the turning chain on this side because I was being really careful to go into the turning chains. I thought you were supposed to, but maybe I wasn't supposed to on this side. but this side looks fine, and I was sure I was doing it on both sides, so maybe there's something about which side you're on you're supposed to do it. I don't know. I really need to figure this out. And I didn't realize it, unfortunately, until I got to like these last two rounds here, because you can see how it like kind of looks a little straight there, and then when you put these, you're like, oh god. So I really don't want to redo it because it took me a really long time, but I also really want this to be like a nice finished product. It has such a nice weight and it's like such a nice material, and the colors, I used 2 yarns. So that's another thing I experimented with, is I used 2 yarns at the same time, and so one is like a tan and one's a pink. And maybe you can see the sheen on this yarn a little bit. And so I really like how the colors are combined in there. I like the feel. And this is working in the herringbone stitch. So it has a ribbing to it, if you can see that. So I love it. I just don't know what to do. I don't know if I should frog it because of the sides, or if I should just try to finish. I'm also not sure if I'm gonna have enough yarn to finish. These balls like weren't that big, but to start, and I'm about probably halfway through the blanket, but I could frog it, make it a shorter size so it's like a little bit better in terms of sizing, and try to fix the sides. The only concern with that is that I just don't know if I'm gonna notice until I get, it looks like it really didn't start until like here, and then it's like, Advice in the comments, please. If you make blankets, I need to hear from you. Okay, so those are my crochet updates. I have been, yeah, it's been nice to just not like, I love making plushies and I love doing my Etsy, but I didn't really in the beginning like give myself a lot of time to experiment with different yarns. I am definitely frugal, as I've said before, and so like when I wanted to start crocheting, I literally went to the store and bought 1 ball of yarn, 1 hook, and I was like, we're just gonna practice this. And then I instantly fell in love with Bernat blanket and making plushies, but I didn't really do anything else. So I'm excited. I was never really planning on doing baby blankets, but since I think I'm going to be selling mostly items geared towards children and babies, I was like, this feels like something I should do, but I still am not sure like how you can make enough money off of it because it takes such a long time to make. So I'm not sure that it's the best endeavor money-wise, but in terms of like being able to just pick a project up and do it anytime and not need to look at a pattern, I love that, because plushies, like the pattern changes like every round, and unless you do something so many times that you have it memorized, you have to look at the pattern every time, and if you're out and on the go, it's more difficult, you know, and the stitch is changing, you're increasing every other stitch or whatever, and some of these are just, it's so mindless, so I really like that. So on my Etsy, I am considering taking off my embroidered eyes option. I just really have not gotten good enough at it to feel really good when my orders go out, like that the embroidered eyes look really good, and I spend a lot more time than I know I should, or that I know is like worth it for at the end goal, you know, money-wise. Ooh. And I do it because I want my customers to have a beautiful plushie, but I don't know if it's worth my time, like when you put my time as money, you know? So I'm considering that. I just don't know if it will deter people. I do have the like no eyes option on my Etsy, and I think only one person has ever ordered the no eyes option, and everyone else has ordered like the embroidered eyes. So I just don't know if it's gonna like deter people, like if it's something they really want or look for, or if they just choose it because it's there as an option and they wouldn't mind it not having any eyes. When I first started crocheting, I thought it was really weird when like the plushies didn't have eyes, but I kind of like if this lion had eyes, I think it would look weird. Like I think like I'm leaning more towards like a minimal plushie branding and style. I don't know, I just like the vibe. So I'm leaning towards that, and then I'm also probably going to up my prices. I think I told you guys I turned off my Etsy ads to kind of see how that worked. And I didn't get any orders, but I did still get quite a lot of visits to my page, like way more than I was expecting. So I only left the Etsy ads turned off for like 1 week before I just went on vacation mode. Just updates there is that potentially maybe I'm going to remove the embroidered eyes option and not offer it. And then I also kind of feel like I'm going to raise my prices. If I decide to leave the embroidered eye option, I might add like a $10 fee just for the extra time that it takes me, because it does take a lot more extra time. I mean, like once I get good at it, I could see myself doing it in like 10 minutes. And that really is like, I can do it in 10 minutes, but I just always feel like they don't look super symmetrical. They pull the stitches so there's like kind of openings around them and like some stuffing can come out. I just am having some technical difficulties with it, and until I figure it out, I just don't want to sell them that way, you know? I also think I'm gonna rework like some of my listings. I think I'm gonna maybe remove my moose plushie and replace it with a moose snuggler or moose lovey, just because that's more of like what I do. And when I make the moose lovey or the moose plushie, like I don't love it. Part of it was because of the eyes. I did a lot of them with embroidered eyes like 2 weeks ago because I had a few orders of those. And I was like, this doesn't look the way I want it to. The other part of it was they were for babies and they were like stuffed animals, and I felt like it should be a lovey. And obviously people ordered, you know, the plushie, so they order what they want, but I just like, I don't know. And then the other part is that I really don't like the way it looks with the, is it a muzzle? Like the nose thing for the moose being like a separate attachment. Sometimes it can be sewn on a little weird and it just doesn't look as good as I want it to. What I really want is a pattern where the muzzle and the head are crocheted, you know, at the same time. And like this muzzle is like a little bit further and wider, and then the kind of like decreases, and then the head, like I want like basically like this, but like with a little bit more here. And I haven't found a pattern like that. I know there is a few, but they are like really drastic. Like the head is like, the muzzle is like very big and round, and the head is like very big and round, and it's like a very contrasting difference, and I wanted to kind of just be subtle. So I am maybe gonna try to like come up with my own thing for that, but really not right now. And then I definitely want to do it in a lovey. Oh, I'm definitely gonna update my dino listing to be a mini dino, because right now it's like a medium size and I don't want to do that size anymore. And then I want to like add some like accessories for like decorating that people could like bundle or add on. Like the little rainbow pillows that I do, I want to do those. I want to do blankets. So just kind of the direction that I'm going. I also want to continue to add more plushies to the collection, but I really am focusing on plushies that are simple, or like loveys that are simple and like minimal. I think that's like my direction. So like, for example, the fox, I don't know if I'll continue to offer it. It's a bit, and like the deer, I don't currently offer the deer, but like since they have the color changes in the face, I just can't do it. It takes me longer, and until I figure out how to make it, you know, a bit quicker, it's just not the best use of my time. Otherwise, I'll have to raise the price, and I can think about that too, but definitely interested in doing a fox out of that like fuzzy yarn and making it look, you know, really minimal. I think that would be really cute. Okay, updates in my office. It's a disaster as usual. That's not the update, but I just ordered a chair for this corner. So I'm going to have a chair for crocheting back here, which is going to be amazing because typically I crochet in this chair. This isn't even a computer chair or an office chair. This is like a nightmare is what this is that I'm sitting in. And I have like this little ottoman under my desk for like my feet to prop up on, and it's just not the vibe. So yeah, I'm gonna get a chair over there, and then I might even get like a little wall right here, like iPad mount. Sounds obnoxious, but when I'm crocheting, I could put like my pattern up on there and like pull it out in front of me in that chair, because typically like sitting at my desk is nice because I can use my computer to put my pattern or my YouTube on. But I thought of a way around that, and that's like an iPad mount, so maybe that. And then other stuff is I am looking for the best way to store my plushies. I also am definitely getting a new yarn shelf probably pretty soon. I just haven't wanted to spend the time getting like selling this one or doing whatever with it, and I haven't wanted to assemble a new shelf, so that's why this is still chaos. I forgot what I was saying about back there. Oh, plushie storage, lovey storage. I've seen people use like blanket ladders to like put their plushies on at markets, and I think that's really cute, but I don't think it's gonna store enough. Like if I'm gonna like run an Etsy, I want to have like a lot of orders already made, you know? Once I get to like a stable state of like people are always ordering, like I want to just have them ready. But, and like I mean currently even right now I have like 10 loveys at least, and I'm not even, that's from like leftovers from markets and stuff, so I need a better storage system. So I started, let me take you over here. I started hanging my plushies on this little rod. This is like an old closet. This house is really old, but oh my god, they don't usually look like that. I took them down yesterday and I rehung them up. Okay, so sorry. They were all like hanging kind of nicely like this, but I hung them back up yesterday in a rush and I just like couldn't handle it. And then I was like, okay, what about something like this? Like putting a little, because I have these little attachments for price tags. And I was like, that's actually really cute. Maybe like S hooks though, because that's going to be annoying to remove because you have to undo like the little clasp on it. But I just worry, is it going to like stretch out the yarn on the top of his head and make it look weird? I am unsure. So I think like this might be better, but it is a little bit annoying because you just saw that guy fall. What do you guys think? Do you guys have any ideas of how to store these guys? Because I need them. One last update that is super exciting is that I've been looking at doing more markets. I definitely want to, but I'm not sure like if I want to mess with outdoor markets yet, just because of like the tent and the weights, and I feel like that's everybody's probably hesitation. Indoor is just a lot easier for me right now, so I was looking for indoor and I couldn't find really any. There is one, but it's on Mother's Day weekend and my mother will be in town with my sister for a wedding dress fitting, so I couldn't make that work. And then the more exciting thing, I was like, okay, what other routes can I take? I actually applied to have my own like area, like my own like shop inside of like a vendor's shop, and I got accepted and I am really excited, but I also like don't know if I'm gonna do it because it's gonna be so much work. Like I'm gonna have to have a lot of inventory. I'm gonna have to be like ready if things sell, like to replenish, and like I don't know that I can do it with my Etsy, and I just don't know if I can do it soon. I also like have to supply everything that my stuff is gonna like sit on, like the furniture. So like I was thinking about using this shelf even, but I'm not sure how to like display my plushies on there nicely, my loveys. So that's where I'm at, and I'm really, really excited. It's a really good opportunity and it could be really cool, but I don't know if I can do it. Like, I think I can definitely do it. I just don't know if I can do it right now, but my life is not really gonna get any less chaotic. So I just need to figure out like what I'm doing, but that's exciting. And for sure, if it happens, there will be many more updates on that. I will do, you know, a bunch of content on it. So stay tuned, convince me that I should, and yeah, we will see how it goes. I think that is all of the updates. I am so excited. I didn't crochet this entire time, I just realized. I was showing you guys things, so I guess I couldn't really. I am probably gonna spend the rest of the day crocheting a little bit. It's 9:45. And I'm gonna spend some time outside planting some veggies and just have a good Saturday. I'll definitely be crocheting later, but I'm not gonna film anymore. If you guys have questions on anything I talked about in this video or anything, just put them in the comments. I love to hear from you guys, and I will see you guys in the next video.